Many a time whenever I'm doing painting and it's like renovating things, like, you know, I tend to paint a wall, you know, repair something, you know, I put a coat of paint on, or I missed something, it's plastered or whatever. And as I'm painting it, you invariably find bits that you've missed. So you've put a coat of paint on and you think, oh God, I should have marked that, you know, I should have filled that, I should have sanded that down. So, you know, I've done it so many times that what I now do is I get some masking tape. Either as I'm going around the room before I'm about to paint, I put a piece of masking tape and mark it with an X or a tick. And generally, I use, like, you know, Scotch tape masking tape, which is what I generally got in my little pouch if I'm painting and decorating and stuff. And I use a bright red Sharpie so that it, you know, you can see it. It's sometimes better to use, let's say, like a blue colour, like a frog tape. A frog tape's so expensive to be sticking little bits and pieces all over the wall. That seems to work for me. I mean, obviously you're going to miss a few bits every now and again, but so what you can do is you can put a little bit of masking tape up, put an X or a tick for it, sort your own system out. And so when you've filled that little piece, what you do is then you change the mark slightly. So you put another little mark on it, so you know you've done that. Or alternatively, you could just pull it off and put a fresh piece on with a mark on. It depends what you want to do and how efficient you want to be. Sometimes though, it's always good to have you know, just some ready-made stuff in your pouch or with you. So as soon as you see it, it's probably a good idea just to fill it anyhow. But when you've got a lot to do, I tend, if I've got a lot of stuff, a lot of filling to do, and, you know, particularly, I mean, I've got 3 rooms to do down here, which I'm going to try and do all together. I tend to look around the room before I even mix any filler. You know, I might have a little bit with me, you know, a little bit of instant stuff with me, but I'll tend to look around the room before I even think about mixing anything. So I can get a good idea of how long it's going to take to go off, how long it's going to take. And then I'll kind of mark it off with my masking tape and my little ticks. And I'll be fair, sometimes they do fall off the wall, depends what the kind of wall is. But it seems to work. It's a pretty good system. Occasionally it's going to get a hiccup and then whatever, you know. And obviously you don't want to mark the wall because it'll bleed through and it'll stain. And it doesn't seem to create any kind of stain at all. So it's pretty good. I mean, that's what I do anyhow. But try your own system, but it works for me. If anyone's got a better system, let me know. Well, you know, the better system will be to actually pay attention to what you're doing and get somebody to do. But, you know, before you start, you know, there's a good way that you go around with a bright light and you can catch all the bits and pieces. But it's not so much that one I forget. It's just the pieces that are so obviously there. You're so used to seeing them. If you don't mark them, you forget them. So that's what I do. I go with a masking tape and I go with a Sharpie pen. Other pens and other masking tape are available, but give it a try. I mean, it certainly works for me. So let's say this is the mark that I want. This is, I mean, it's only a small piece here, but the small pieces are the ones that can be really annoying. So what I do is I'd stick a piece of masking tape above or below, you know, so I'm not covering where it's damaged. I mean, it's a tiny little mark here. And I'd put the masking tape on like that. I'd put an arrow going upwards. So now let's say that I've put a tiny bit of filler in there. If I had some filler on me, I would have filled that, but hey, I don't. So let's say then I'll put a line through it like that. You know, now I've put filler through it. That's a little system that I've put. And, you know, once it's been filled and let's say it's been sanded, you know, I'll sand it down, I'll put a mark, and then if it's great, I'll take it off and it'll be finished. So as you can see, I've got the red arrow either in here with a line across it. So that's indicating that that's been missed. I mean, this should have been done anyhow when it was covered, but you know, so that's indicating that needs doing all the way along. So I can just glance around the room and I can see some of these and then get a fair idea of what needs doing and, you know, how much filler's needed or plastering or whatever it is. But, you know, I generally use this for filler and touching in and stuff, but it tends to work. But this should have been covered before, but unfortunately it was missed by somebody. I'm not going to say who.